Broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for Atlanta Business Radio, spotlighting the city's best businesses and the people who lead them.
Good morning. This is Sanjay Ture, and welcome back to another episode of Women in Technology here at the Business Radio X studios. How are you guys doing this morning?
Fantastic.
Well, I'm here with two amazing ladies, one being Penny Collins and Trisha Stezzi. Again, how are you guys doing?
So glad to be here. This is exciting.
Awesome. So I'm going to start off with you, Penny. What's going on in the WIT world right now?
Well, we have quite a bit going on. So let me first start with our big signature event that will be happening, as everyone knows, November 14th at the Georgia Aquarium. And this is our big Women of the Year celebration.
Yeah.
And it is, for those that may not know about it, it is an opportunity for us as WIT to gather 900 leaders and executives and all the people across tech into one space at the Georgia Aquarium, where we celebrate that we use the whole evening to celebrate the incredible women leaders that we have in Georgia. So throughout the process, we've got people that nominate hundreds of women who they believe are deserving of this great prestigious award.
Yeah.
And women who that are tech leaders that have given back to the community.
Which is important.
Which is so important, and really believe in the mission of WIT. Mm-hmm. And so through the nominations, we have a team of judges that get us down to the top 3 finalists for each category that we nominate, which includes large business, medium, small, and nonprofit.
Okay.
We also do Girl of the Year. And but it's a night for us to say who is the winner.
What's the age range for Girl of the Year?
It's usually in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
And then through that, we actually announce who the winner is, and then the evening is just celebrating them as phenomenal women in our community.
That's so great.
That's happening November 14th. And for anybody listening that wants to be a sponsor or actually purchase a table, please go to mywit.org. Tons of information on what is available, and we would love to have you there.
Wow, you guys heard it here, November 14th, Women of the Year event, and that's going to be at the Georgia Aquarium.
That's correct.
So you guys should definitely be attending, and you can find the information to this on the mywit.org, right?
That is correct.
Awesome. So what's another event that we have coming up in September or August?
So in August. So the next one is August. This is where we have our monthly women's forum. And this is a great opportunity for us to bring about 200 women together when we meet at Maggiano's in Buckhead.
Okay.
We still have a few seats left, so go out to mywit.org if you want to get a seat. But it's a great morning. It's a great way to start off your day. We have just 30 minutes of people meeting each other, and then we have breakfast. And then the next hour will be spent on what we call having a CIO roundtable. And Trisha actually is helping us with organizing all of that. Actually, she's doing all the work.
Okay, Trisha.
But we actually, I know, right? But we have it's awesome to have you. But it's a great thing that we're doing. It's actually, we have a bunch of tables that we have set up at Maggiano's, where we will have one of our women CIOs in Atlanta that will be at the head of each table. And we'll have 9 other women around that table. And it is about us learning from these incredible leaders how they got to where they are.
Yeah.
What are things that they could teach us? How can they help us with navigating our own careers?
Right.
Because we want to learn from people that have already
been
made
through
it.
it. Yeah.
And it's a great opportunity for our members to be able to learn from the best. Mm-hmm. And we've got some incredible women CIOs in our community, and I believe we need to highlight them more, and I believe we need to learn from them. So that's going to happen in August.
Okay.
Then in September, we've got what we call our social. And it is an evening. It will be September 25th. It will be sponsored by one of our incredible sponsors, Slalom Consulting. And we will get together at Vino Venue, where we will have a night of just being with each other. It's a night of education. It's a night of being social and getting to know other women that are in technology across Atlanta.
And that's so beneficial.
Yes. Absolutely. So we'll be opening it up for ticket purchases in the next couple weeks.
Well, we have a lineup of things. So August 21st is the forum. Mm-hmm. September 25th is the social. And the headliner.
Yep.
November 14th, the Women of the Year event. You guys definitely need to go to these events. And you can find more information about that at mywit.org, right?
That is right.
Awesome. So we're going to turn this over to Trisha. How are you doing? again.
I'm still doing great. I'm so thrilled to be here.
That's awesome. So I did get to speak to you at the WIT Connect.
Yes.
And I would just like to know a little bit more about your story
Yeah.
and how this whole thing came about. And you are the CEO and the founder of Significance, and you're also the co-founder and America's lead of SideShift.
That's right.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So with Significance, our purpose is to unleash the potential of people and brands to be a force for good. And what does that mean? It means that we have people in businesses, their employees, they actually have more influence than they think at their places of business. And they can help these brands leverage the power and all the resources behind them to live out their purpose and not only change the world and make impact, but support the business strategies while they do it. So really, Significance is about helping brands partner with causes like women in technology and others that, really connect with people at an emotional level.
Yeah.
Something that's really important nowadays more than ever. People are seeking fulfillment at home, at work, and the brands that are really connecting with people, giving them chances to be part of something bigger than themselves are the beloved brands and the brands that are holding on to the best, like attracting and keeping the best employees and basically creating like brand ambassadors because they just love what the company stands for. So with Significance, we help people and the brands themselves figure out how to partner together to support each other.
Oh, okay.
And so one way we do that is through, strategy, but another way is that I've got a purpose-driven speakers bureau. So kind of in my life, for 20 years, I've kind of had this passion of, kind of finding people that are innovating and creating ways to make a big impact in the world. And I kind of like organically kind of created a collection of these amazing people. Yeah. And it's really a personal passion of mine to help get their messages out on a bigger scale. And in a lot of ways, a great way to do that is to partner with companies who are in alignment with their messages. Yep. So I've got the Significance purpose-driven speakers bureau, and then the strategy. So that's kind of that part of my work is really, helping brands partner with people to do well by doing good.
Yeah.
My other endeavor, my latest project is a social enterprise called Significance. Oh, no, sorry, called SideShift. Moving on to that one. So SideShift, I'm part of a team of 50% female leadership, and even the volunteers that are supporting us are 50% of those are women. So we're really intentional about bringing many, many types of voices. A diverse group. So,
because it matters.
Yeah. To the table in what we're doing. Whether that's female, male, where we are in the world, situated in our different cultural backgrounds, so that, we can basically shine a light on solutions that are already working in the world. And, so, to kind of back up a little and say, I know in the news, there's a lot of bad news lately. People are kind of scared. They're looking at climate change and all these different things. And sometimes that can be overwhelming. And people think, well, what can I do? I'm one person. Well, actually, you can do a lot. And there are a lot of solutions out there. And really what SideShift, what we're doing is bringing together the thought leaders that have found solutions that work and giving them kind of a megaphone and a platform. To share so that what individuals can come to this place and kind of figure out what resonates with them. Yeah. And to take an action step forward. So in both of my companies that I'm part of, it's really about finding what resonates. So at a brand, what resonates with you? What supports your message? And how can you connect with people on that and invite them to participate? With SideShift, it's like, okay, you're an individual person. You have a unique skill set and unique passions and unique experiences in your life. What would make you feel good? How would you, what attracts you? And go in that, take one step in that direction and take one action. And so we're kind of creating a lot of opportunities for people to get involved. And what happens is when you have a global platform like that, a lot of individuals stepping forward to do something that they love, we can make a huge amount of impact. So those are my two big projects right now. Again, focusing on kind of brands and activating individuals, and then individuals figuring out, where do I plug in? How do I make a difference? And their solutions are out there. So here's where I can get started.
That's awesome. So you started this in 2017, right? was founded
yes.
in 2017.
Yes,
what was the thought process behind that? What was in your head? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this actually goes way back to the beginning of my career. So thankfully, I have a business degree from College of Charleston, and I came back to Atlanta after studying. And I kind of took a traditional path of, okay, let's just get a job and go for these sort of superficial milestones that I was kind of, everybody kind of moves towards. Like, let's try to make a lot of money. Let's have a nice car, whatever. So I kind of saw myself like reaching some milestones when I was completely miserable, not fulfilled. And so I thankfully took like a pause then instead of waiting to like, having like a midlife crisis, which happens to many people. They just get on a track and they stay on it. But I actually paused back in the 90s after 3 years in the business world, and it changed my life forever. So what I did was I took a moment. What
was that revelation? What happened?
Yeah. Well, it was kind of like one of those breakdowns, like, I can't do this anymore. I hate this. I'm miserable. Like, something has to change.
Yeah.
I don't know what. So, I was able to, when you don't have as many responsibilities or children and all that, I was able to kind of take a break and really get very, very quiet. So I went to the library, and I brought home any book, 15 books that were remotely interesting to me. I sat in nature. I was quiet. I did these things that like to try to get some type of message from myself or get clarity, like what would make me happy? What should I do with my life? And after about 6 months of just sort of open exploring, I did art, I did music, I just explored. I kind of came up with 5 things that resonated with me. It was not like a job description or a plan. It was like, these 5 elements, I believe, I need to be doing. And this moment of clarity was, I want to use my business skills to do something good in the world related to art. And then I had 2 personal other things. I wanted to go to Europe and I wanted to be around blues music.
Right.
I just discovered it there. It was passionate. It was raw. It was awesome. So my 5 things. Well, those 5 things changed my life because I was clear. I didn't know how, but I knew what.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, all these opportunities to execute on those happened. And I said yes, because I knew and I had the confidence to say yes. So, put me on a path to a purpose-driven career where I started. And I won't give all the details, but I basically helped international nonprofit based here in Atlanta develop some pretty high-impact corporate partnerships.
Wow.
That's where this kind of began. We were just figuring it out as we went. It was back in the 90s when cause marketing was becoming a thing, where like we could realize that companies and causes can partner together, and it doesn't have to only be philanthropy. It can also be strategic, which is actually great because then those partnerships can be more sustainable over time when they're win-win.
Yeah.
It's harder to get rid of something, that's a pet charity versus something that's, in line with strategic vision of a brand.
Right.
So it started there, and after, then I worked for several agencies, one here locally in Atlanta and one out of New York, where I got experience putting together strategies between major brands and causes, and how do we work together? How do we make this more valuable for everybody? And I love it. So I love, like we were talking earlier, I love connecting the dots. So I'm connecting these dots between, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are your goals? Where can we find those points of intersection where, it's doing well by doing good, or social impact meets, strategic results. So did that for a long time, and I just kept following it. And then eventually it was time to start my own agency, and that's when Significance
came
was
about.
born. Yeah.
That's awesome. So you've been in the business for 20 years, right? 2 decades.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I hate being able to say that about myself. I'm dating myself a little bit here.
It's a good thing. So you were bringing brands together with other,
like causes, organizations.
Right, for strategic purposes.
Yeah.
Tell me how that went. What was the steps when you bring a brand together and a cause? How does that go?
That's a great question, because sometimes one of the things that was so beneficial to having me kind of in the middle was that sometimes brands speak one language and causes speak another language. And you kind of need a translator sometimes to kind of who understands, like, okay, here's what a brand can actually do versus what you think they can do for you as a cause. And the same thing on the cause side, like, can we really handle, 10,000 volunteers? No, or, what's doable from our side and what's really valuable. And sometimes it's not always just the money.
Yes.
Yes, financial support is really important and valuable, but oftentimes brands have access to, celebrities and marketing and, just really like high value assets that can be partnered with a cause and they do things that they could have never done alone or separately. And then and so basically it's a process of kind of uncovering like, what assets can we leverage from the brand in alignment with their goals in either a given department or an entire brand or within a program. Could be supporting a diversity and inclusion program. How do we partner with the cause to bring that to life?
Yeah.
Or it could be something relating to a particular brand, but we kind of it's a creative process. It's like an art and science.
Yeah.
Right? Where are the opportunities? How can we be creative to make this win-win and track the metrics and prove that this is a partnership, a true partnership, delivering value on both sides of the equation. And so it's kind of a different thought process sometimes, but, it's really powerful. And I think now, I've been in this world for so long that I've kind of been part of this evolution of it was philanthropy, then it was strategic philanthropy. Then we had cause marketing entering the picture. Then, this corporate social responsibility umbrella is a bigger umbrella over all of that, which includes sustainability and all of that. Like I was kind of growing and as the brands and causes were learning about that and like experimenting, I was kind of on that journey with them.
Yep.
And now we're at a place which is very exciting because it's already been proven. Like the business case is there. These corporate cause partnerships that are authentic, are really valuable for the company, the cause, the people that work for the companies,
Right.
the consumers.
Everyone.
The business case, is there. And so now it's just a matter of what are you doing? And there's actually an expectation. The millennials and the Gen Zs we know have different values, but this is actually not just a millennial Gen Z thing. There's so much research that actually all generations, people are seeking fulfillment. They want authenticity. It's just that the millennials and the Gen Z want it even more.
Yeah.
They demand it. They expect it.
They're pushing that agenda right now.
Yeah. And so they say, well, we have influence, so we're going to vote with our wallet. So it's kind of this exciting time where brands are having to transition and figure out how to do this authentically. And then they're called out if they try to do something superficial. So, you got to really get this right.
Yeah.
So don't try to, cause wash or greenwash. Just really, you need to go through the process of saying, what do I care about? What is my purpose outside of making money as a brand? It's every company was usually started for a bigger purpose than just making money. There's some contribution to the world.
Yep.
And kind of get back to that purpose, and figure out ways to bring it to life. And, so it's an exciting time where we're seeing more and more ways that's happening. And, and technology, I would love to talk about that for a minute. The power of technology in the entire world obviously is in this digital transformation. And as everything's changing, technology becomes like rocket fuel to how businesses and individuals and causes and influencers can partner.
Because it's incorporated in everything.
Yeah. And it can scale up the way we can tackle the world's biggest challenges. So, instead of reaching your local audience, you can reach the globe with your message and inspire people to take action. So I feel like, it's such an important piece. That's one reason I wanted to volunteer with women in technology.
Yeah.
It's like a cross section of so many things that I have experienced in my own life that are important, which is, technology can scale business for good. And we need diverse voices at every table to really succeed in life. And so, we need to support women in every aspect, but especially in technology, which is so influential. So I just love how they're doing that. There's so many wonderful programs and bringing women together to help other women. These, that's a way to support diversity in your brand is a way to show your values. And so that's something that, WIT is a great partner for. They there's like a list of things where
yeah.
why I would recommend WIT as a corporate partner. So everything from getting your employees engaged. So not just like a one-off, sponsorship, but like these people that volunteer with, the people that work for the companies that sponsor WIT, they're deeply engaged. They're mentoring kids. It's affecting, their day at work. They go home feeling fulfilled and they treat their family better because they're happy at work. And a lot of that is, thanks to partnering with WIT and these opportunities that they provide. And on top of networking and professional development and all that. So there's so many ways, to partner together. And just, that's one thing I like to teach is, it's not always the value is not always in the money. There's so many other legs to how you can partner and create value together.
So my next question was going to be about technology since we're already on that.
Yes.
How do you incorporate technology into your businesses right now?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think social media is one piece of it. And I'll go to the example of the SideShift company for a minute here. So what we're doing there is literally creating a virtual community. So I have a team. We have about 16 people right now, and I'm in America. Everyone else is in Europe in different countries. And then we're putting together a free virtual summit, SideShift, shifting perspectives and redefining sustainability. It's going to be a virtual summit where anyone in the world can tune in for free and hear from more than 50 thought leaders with solutions that have worked for them in their life. We're kind of addressing many different categories of challenges so that, no matter who you are or where you are, what your interests are, you'll be able to find in this group something that resonates with you. And so without technology, we really couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So kind of creating this, this ability to bring these thought leaders and change makers together to inspire everyone to take action somewhere is only possible with technology. So that's one example, right? The reach, the scale, the action, the follow-up we can take. It's amazing. So we have this tool right there just waiting for us to use it to, really take a step forward and make these changes that we need.
Right.
That solutions are there. The technology is helping us reach more. So we just need to take that first step.
I want to know a little bit more about SideShift and how it works. Mm-hmm. So when I go on the webpage, how do I work it?
Hey, I'm so glad you asked that. So right now, we're kind of in our soft launch period. Our virtual summit starting September 26th. Through October 6th will be the launch. And again, as I mentioned, that's a free summit where you just basically go and register, and then you have access to this new content that appears every day.
Every day?
Yes, for 10, 11 days. And so, it's very exciting. And you basically just register at www.sideshift.net/summit. So you can see all the speakers there. You can kind of get a sense of, that, oh yeah, this resonates with me. There's something I can learn here. Mm-hmm. Just register now, and then you'll receive messages that will also invite you to participate in our current social media challenge, which is our 60 days, 60 challenges challenge, where each of our speakers are introduced one a day, for the 60 days leading up to the summit.
Okay.
And so you get a little teaser of one of the insights from one of our thought leaders, and it's posed to get people involved because there are many solutions to any given challenge. So we're saying, here's one solution. What do you think? Does this resonate with you? Do you have other ideas? Other, insights you want to share with our community? Because it's really not one way, just blaring out information for you to listen. No, this is two-way
interactive.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, another part of the beauty of technology. So it's not just reading a book, it's learning and then saying, well, I have this question, or I have this input, or have you thought of it this way? And then, so that's what we're doing, kind of igniting a global conversation. So that part has started now. You can go to, our SideShift social media channels, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and participate in our challenges. And you'll get a taste of the vibe of what it's like. You can register for free. And then the summit, like I said, starts September 26th. And then after that, that's kind of the launch of the overall platform.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a mix of, say, Facebook and LinkedIn with a purpose.
Okay.
We couldn't find, or and Netflix. Sorry.
Yes.
Like, so there's a Netflix, like there's all this content. You can pick what you like. But it's like all on the theme of how we can make an impact in the world.
Awesome.
And so we didn't see anything out there like that. So we thought, well, we better create this and build a community of people that are interested. So
how does the social part, how is that incorporated into the website? Are you able to connect with other people on there and, share insights, or is it just you and the thought leaders communicating?
So it's going to evolve. There are a few phases. So now we're doing the social media campaign in the summit. It will be all of this content, and there will be ability to communicate with each other via social. But the platform, which is the next phase, is definitely and absolutely designed for engagement. So we're literally bringing together anybody that is interested in being a change maker, is a change maker, wants to check it out. It's all like a community, where we can connect with each other. It'll be a membership based platform. And we'll be like inviting people to be part of the dialogue. And then eventually we'll also be taking this to real live, events where people can connect in real life. So we'll have this community, and we'll say, we'll be doing annual summits and summits by theme, but we'll also be connecting people on the ground so that they can meet other people with similar interests and take action together.
That's really great. I want to take it a little bit back to significance, and I want to dive deeper into that. Yeah. Tell me a little bit more about significance.
Thanks. Yeah. So again, this was sort of built out of my personal passion for, realizing brands have so much influence, but brands are really made out of people. And so I basically help people inside brands exert their influence to combine, strategy with impact.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, for example, right now I'm working with a new client called the Ovi Mihaly Foundation. And so he's an influencer with a foundation who, we're helping him partner with companies so that together they can, use sports and technology and education to, get all kinds of people excited about the environment that typically may not be excited about the environment or interested at all, but they love sports. So let's use sports to get people interested in the environment and how it impacts them and how they might be able to help make a change. And so so for this example, we have an influencer, we have a platform that's important, and then I help them partner with brands to scale up that message and that impact.
Yes.
And so so that involves strategy for partnership.
Right.
And like each partner is different, right? So it's not like this something off the shelf box. Like, yes, they have 5 programs.
Yeah.
But when we partner with someone, we say, how can we use these platforms to support you and what you're trying to achieve with your goals? And how can we work together to make this optimal impact and, return on investment for everybody?
I guess my question was, I wasn't so specific. I apologize. Is there a website that these brands go on and they find causes that they match with, or is this something you're personally doing and you're matching them with a cause?
Great question. Yeah. So it's a consultancy.
Okay.
So
awesome. Thank you.
So the website is significanceagency.com. And so you can go there and check out. I have a suite of services I offer, the strategy side. And then you can also check out my speakers bureau, where you'll see about 15 featured speakers, such as, so Bob Chapman he was recently named the number 3 CEO in the world by Inc. magazine. He's amazing. He's actually part of one of our side shift speakers as well. And so he, for example, talks about the truly human leadership. So he's got this number 3, status in the world as a CEO. He's got double-digit performance increases for 10 years. So he shares his insights and inspires people to understand the power of caring for people. So yes, he has a great business strategy, but the reason he's that successful, a lot of it has to do with the atmosphere and the culture that he's created, which is truly loving each other.
Yeah.
It's like Simon Sinek. A lot of people know Simon Sinek and the power of why. Mm-hmm. When Simon saw what Bob Chapman was doing at his company, Barry Wehmiller, he was like, all my theories have been proven. this is what I thought was possible, and I've now seen it done. So he's basically an example of, things can be done differently, and it's not a zero-sum game. You can actually care and still succeed in business at the same time. And so, just an example of one of my speakers, and then I have, quite a few others on different topics, but they're all like purpose driven and sort of something that you can bring into your company or your conference to kind of open people's minds and have them think a little bit differently about, what they can contribute to the world, and then it actually makes their day-to-day life more fulfilling, and they don't necessarily have to quit their job and work at a nonprofit or whatever to have a fulfilling life. But a lot of times they can just be inspired to find something that resonates where they are and get involved. So these speakers really get people thinking and excited and motivated. And then, so that ends up being sometimes part of a longer term strategy where you can bring in a speaker, but then you can build a program around that where, okay, so we're inspired. Now what? How do we take action?
What's the next step?
Yeah. So I have other, experienced partners that get people then as a follow-up engaged with the topic. So I know you interviewed Jen Graham of Civic Dinners recently. She's one of my experienced partners where you basically, what she does is she brings people together, a diverse group of people around a table to, create a platform for empathy and story sharing around a topic. Well, what that does is, so say we kicked off with the speaker, then we have this discussion around the topic where many different perspectives are heard. Well, what creates is this atmosphere where ideas can cross-pollinate and new ideas are co-created, which is amazing for corporate culture because then, people feel good. They're contributing to something greater. They're being listened to. They're being respected. So then we go through like a series. This is sort of part of what I go through with corporate clients. And so it's like, okay, what's the topic? How do we get people directly engaged with that topic and create these purpose-driven experiences? And that then, and there's many ways to do that. So it's unique for every partnership. But then make sure that there's metrics capturing all this and capturing content and sharing that out so that we create, this amazing, program or ecosystem that's really year over year sustainable and reaching milestones and creating impact and getting into the DNA of the company so that really it is creating momentum. So yes, so that's part of the strategy. So it's like the speaker thing kind of was born organically because there's so many amazing people that need to be, have a bigger platform. But then we don't want to stop there. Yeah. We got to take action. So I help people through significance to find great ways to do that.
So what's the most fulfilling part of creating these two businesses?
Well, I must say I've always had this, thought that I would be an entrepreneur, but I didn't know doing what. So like even back in college, I said, I'm going to study business and I don't know what I want to do with it, but my favorite course was entrepreneurship. And it was only like a little 2-hour elective, but they brought in like real business leaders and they told their stories. And I loved that. I was like, I learned the most out of that tiny little course than anything else. And so it took me a little while to figure out like what my lane was. But so now that I know, I want to use my skills and talents and, unique gifts in the world to, help, make a difference,
right.
And use business to make a difference. Like that's how I ended up where I was. And like just following that instinct ended up guiding me to figure out what kind of business should I be doing. Well, really what I should be doing is creating something fulfilling that's giving back and using my skills. Well, that's significance on the brand side and side shift on the individual side. So I feel like I'm really like in utopia. And then I have my volunteer.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have my volunteer. I don't have a lot of free time. There's that. But I love what I do. So it doesn't feel like work. It feels like I'm living, my dream.
So you're speaking about volunteering. I know you do conscious capitalism here in Atlanta, and you also do Good Lunch, Good Dinner. I want to hear more about that.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah. So, Atlanta is fantastic. And it's interesting. I've lived here for a long time, but I didn't really plug in. And in the last few years, I've really plugged in and realized like what good we can, like what organizations are out there that, I've really found like my tribe, right? When I met the people at Conscious Capitalism and Women in Technology, I was like, oh my gosh, all these amazing people are here. I just didn't know it. So I will share that with the audience, like, get out there and look for something that resonates with you and take a chance because it could change your life. I've met so many amazing people. So with the Good Lunch, so one of my speakers and friends, Afdel Aziz, he wrote the book, Good is the New Cool. We co-wrote it with Bobby Jones, and these are both amazing, purpose-driven, marketers and, business strategists. They have a company called, Conspiracy of Love, which is amazing. It's based on a quote from, I think, Cory Booker. But basically, similar to me, they help companies and brands be a force for good. Well, so he speaks and he goes around and teaches. He's one of my speakers that teaches brands how to, partner for good. And we just resonated immediately when we met. And so he was originally based in New York. Now he's in LA. So he said, you know what? You need to represent what we're doing in Atlanta. And so I was like, yes, definitely. Sign me up. So we hosted, what he calls Good Lunch here in Atlanta, and again, this is actually how I started plugging in. I was like, well, who are the influencers in Atlanta that should be at this Good Lunch, which is about networking, supporting each other, people who are trying to make a difference. Let's create a little network amongst ourselves and see where we can help. So by doing that, I kind of discovered Conscious Capitalism. And so I got involved with them. Yeah. And then, and then we had our second, it was a good dinner this time, and had another set of people meet and network, because Afdel was in town. And so it's just kind of a philosophy of, like with WIT, it's like women helping women. And, with Good Lunch, it's like change makers helping change makers. And Conscious Capitalism, again, it's sort of like this tribe of people that were like, we know business can be a force for good. This is like the beginning of a new way of doing business, and we just need to get the word out to more people. So it's a group of people that all believe that. And so it's been really nice to plug in. And with Conscious Capitalism, recently we held, during the week of Valentine's Day, we actually did a civic dinner about bringing love and humanity back into business. So a word you don't normally hear together with business is love and humanity, right?
It's like an oxymoron. It doesn't go together.
I know. But the cool thing about it is, actually the companies that get this right outperform the traditional businesses. So you think of your Whole Foods, Container Store, Patagonia, these brands that really get this right. And Barry Miller, another example. And they're a B2B company that builds machinery. It's not like a fluffy little, yoga studio company or something. These are businesses that you wouldn't naturally think caring for people is driving bottom line results, but the business case is there. So it's exciting to share that, open people's minds to realize, just because something was done a certain way in the past doesn't mean it's the best way and we can't evolve.
Yep.
Because, one of my other speakers, Raj Sisodia, he's written about 10 books. He's also part of SideShift. And he wrote Everybody Matters with Bob Chapman, but his latest book is called The Healing Organization, where he shows you that all the stress in the world, much of it is caused by our time at work. We spend most of our time at work, often, in a stressful situation. Bosses are, creating a large amount of stress, then you take that stress home, and then, you're not, all of a sudden you're treating your family poorly because you're stressed, or your health starts deteriorating. A lot of this is caused by our corporate culture. So it's, and if you're not happy at work and you're stressed, you're also not productive. And, less than 25% of people are actually engaged at work. So this is a business problem. It's like a personal problem because stress at work is hurting people's health and their happiness, but it's also horrible for productivity. Oh yeah. So there's a business incentive to kind of start looking and shifting our thinking, around culture. And so, so basically Raj is kind of making the case and showing you how actually when you create healthy environments where people feel supported and do feel like they matter and they're contributing to something greater, it improves their health. It improves their productivity. And Barry Miller has a statistic that he even tracks divorce rates because when he teaches leadership, business leadership, it greatly impacts how people treat their families at home. And it's communication skills, it's listening. So all these things translate.
Yeah. And
so you think, we're just doing this one little thing, but actually you can have a huge impact in so many areas of someone's life. And all of these things affect the bottom line. So that's what I love, because it's not a zero-sum game. Mm-hmm. You're not like, oh, should I either spend this money on this cause partnership or, make money? No, like if you actually do both right, you would increase the results in both areas.
All right. As we wrap up the show, I just want to know, what's the most exciting part about partnering and volunteering with WIT?
Oh, I love the opportunity.
I know there's a lot.
Yeah, I know. I need like an hour here, but I love the opportunity to bring these female leaders to the stage where they can share their experiences. Women need to see success stories, and they need to learn from other women who have been there. How can they succeed as well? Mm-hmm. So it's just extremely powerful to have this network of women helping women, because, all businesses improve when there's a diverse group of people in leadership roles and like we said earlier, especially in technology, which is influencing everything really. So with the WIT, it really, it's empowering, it's important, and I'm just thrilled to be part of it. And literally every single human being I've interacted with at WIT is amazing and inspirational. I was telling Penny earlier, not a single dud in the bunch. So that's always fun. So yeah.
Right. I know I can go on for days explaining about the amazing things that WIT does, just by you guys coming in here and speaking and just being a part of WIT Connect. You guys are doing something amazing. So just wanted to give you guys that shout out. And thank you so much for being in the studio today, Trisha. I almost called you Trezzi. Your last name is Stezzi, right?
It's like Stezzi.
Stezzi. Okay.
So it's like the combination of like, when you're dating somebody, just like putting my two names together.
Oh,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming into the studio today. I really appreciate it. Are there any things that we have to look out for right now in regards to the companies? Yeah.
So I would say check out signifanceagency.com for speakers, or you can reach out to me there if you're interested in learning more about, strategy and support. We also are launching a Champions of Good campaign that I can tell you more about soon. And then with the Side Shift, I'd say immediately you can go to Side Shift, like on LinkedIn at Side Shift, and start participating in our 60-day challenge. We'd love to hear what everybody has thinking and give you a taste of what's to come.
And can you register now?
Yes, register now for the summit. It's very easy. Just go to sideshift.net/summit. Just register. It's free. We'll remind you when it's going live. And then what's really neat about it is you'll be able to watch these full videos from all the thought leaders, but you can also search by topic. And so then it'll, kind of pull up, everything on that topic and all these little, key moments. And then you can start there and see if something inspires you. You can go deeper and watch the whole video. Sideshift.net/summit. And we'll see you there.
Awesome. You guys heard it. And as for WIT, you guys have a few things to look out for. In September, on the 25th, we have a social. August 21st is a forum. And November 14th is the Women of the Year event.
You got it.
All righty. Thank you so much, Penny Collins, for coming as well.
You bet.
This is Sandra Teray for Business Radio X.